All right, so you're down to the last couple services that you have left as you move forward. So your last services are hair removal by tweezing and simulated soft wax, and then you have your manicure as well as your nail polish. So now you have 2 minutes to set up the supplies for the hair removal of the eyebrows by tweezing and using simulated soft wax section of this exam. Please do not begin any procedures until the verbal instructions have been read and you are instructed to begin. Step back to indicate when you're finished. So you should have cleaned up everything that you would have left on your workspace that has to do with any of your chemical services, wiping down your workspace, taking out your equipment that you need for your waxing and your tweezing. So clean that up, sanitize your hands, get your waxing and tweezing items out of your kit and lay them out. I would lay them out on a paper towel or a towel so that you have them readily available for you. So utilizing those as you're working your way through. So I'm going to lay out a towel. I'm going to take out my simulated wax, which should be labeled simulated, which should be labeled wax, not simulated wax. Take out my wax strips and my sticks. I'm going to lay some of my strips out. We can cut up paper towels for this. It's nice to be able to utilize within your thing, and then some sticks as well. And do not take out everything in case you would drop them on the floor. You wouldn't have them available. So I took out a couple sticks. I have my alcohol to clean the work area. And then I'm going to have some product for soothing for after the waxing service. So I need to make sure I have my tweezers, wax strips, sticks, hand sanitizer, cotton, anything that I would need. At this point is when I like to bag my client so that everything is out of the way. I don't have to worry about getting product on me while I'm waxing. I also like to tip my client back, so find the opening in your stand so that you can tip your client back to receive the waxing and the tweezing services. So I could have taken the clips out of my hair as I'm working my way along so that they're not in the way. I still have my client draped so that I don't get wax on their clothes for personal protection. Need to make sure I have gloves for the waxing and the tweezing services. So that should be in my little baggie as well, but it could be in my universal bag that I would need for everything. So usually I just have everything in that universal bag that I would need. So like that alcohol is going to be in my first aid kit. I'm just going to pull that out of my first aid kit. Need to make sure that I am able to lay my client back. So let's find the opening in our stand. I'm actually going to move mine over here so hopefully you can see a little better. All right, so I had 2 minutes to set everything up. Instructions are repeated. Again, you have 2 minutes to set up all your supplies for hair removal of the eyebrows by tweezing and using simulated soft wax section of the examination. Please do not begin any procedures until the verbal instructions have been read and you're instructed to begin. The instructions will be repeated, and then at the end they'll say you may begin. All candidates have indicated they've completed this section. Please do nothing until the next verbal instructions are given, or please stop working. So you have everything set up. You had 2 minutes to do that. And then these are going to be one-on-ones. So you're going to be watched individually as you go through the service. So know that I have, you can see my client as we're working through. So I want to make sure that you guys can see the service as I'm working through it. So I'm going to work on this eyebrow so that you guys can see. So I'm going to sanitize my hands. The examiner is going to come out over and she's going to say, or he is going to say to me, please perform the hair removal of the eyebrows by tweezing and using simulated soft wax. You will demonstrate hair removal from one eyebrow by tweezing, and you will demonstrate hair removal from the other eyebrow by using simulated software. Expected to follow all client protection, safety, and infection control procedures. You will be instructed individually by the examiner to demonstrate the tweezing and waxing procedures. This is untimed. Do not begin until the examiner tells you to do so, until you're instructed to do so by the examiner. So then they repeat the section. So she came over, he came over, she came over. I got out some gloves. Make sure I have gloves on my hands. I have all of my items laid out so that I have them all available for me as I go through the service. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the eyebrows. So I'm going to take some alcohol, or antiseptic as it's called in the instructions. I'm going to wipe it off. I'm going to clean the eyebrows. So clean one eyebrow, clean the other eyebrow. And then remember, this is going to go in your trash. So I threw it in my trash. So now I'm going to tweeze. So I want to make sure that I'm following the correct procedure. So if I'm going through tweezing, I'm going to stand on the side. I'm going to hold the skin taut from that section. Gotta get so you guys can see, and so all right, so I'm going to hold the skin taut. I'm going to start tweezing. So make sure that I'm tweezing with the hair growth as I'm working my way across my client's face. Getting all of those hairs out as it comes through. I'm going to go back in the middle section. I'm going to tweeze up. I got that one done. I'm done with my tweezers. I'm going to throw them into my to be disinfected bag, and I'm going to apply antiseptic again. So I did the tweezing. Now I'm going to do the waxing. I'll try and do that on the other brow so you guys can see. So I already cleaned it with antiseptic. So I'm going to open my wax, take out a wax strip and a wax stick. So with your wax stick, you don't want to have too much on there that you have to work it through. So I'm going to lay the stick underneath the eye, and I'm basically going to spread it out. Now granted, there's not much difference space between the eye on my mannequin. I'm also then that's going to go in my trash. I'm going to take my strip, lay it on the hair, smooth it out with the way the hair grows, create some tension, hold it tight. I've got to get it so you guys can see. And then I'm going to rip it off against growth. So fold my strip, again pull that tight, take off any extra wax that I need. I'm going to throw that strip in my trash. I'm going to take one more stick and I'm going to do between the eyebrows. No double dipping. Oh, I forgot to do something. So I forgot that I need to test my wax. So I want to make sure before I put that on there. Let's do this one over. So I have my gloves on. I know I'm going to wax the side. So I just cleaned it off with antiseptic. I'm going to take a little bit of wax out. And I'm going to test it on my arm. So I'm going to test it, put it on my arm. No, it's not too hot. Throw that stick away. Take a wax strip and take it off my arm and throw that away. Now I know I can go ahead and wax my client. So I'm going to take a little bit of wax. I'm going to do underneath the eyebrow again. Remember, not too thick, so it's just going to be a little bit. Trying to stay off the brow itself. I only have one stick left, so I'm going to do that part too. So then I'm going to take my wax strip. I already tested it on my arm. I'm going to apply it, smooth it the way that it grows, take it off. Then I'm going to fold my strip, or I'll throw that one away. I'll take another strip, trying to protect my client at all times, safety and sanitation. Get tension on it, rip it off, try to keep it as close as possible. Take any of that extra wax off in my trash. I'm going to go back with my antiseptic. I'm going to clean that off. And then I'm going to take a little bit of soothing gel or post-epilation treatment. Put that on my client. So I had to get another stick out of my little handy-dandy extra items, but that's okay. Take a little bit of post-epilation. And apply that to the area. So I have a little bit here and a little bit here. Throw that stick away, kind of massage it in as I'm going forward. So you are going to be evaluated on that your wax is labeled in English and that all your implements are considered visibly clean, that you wear gloves, that you apply antiseptic to the eyebrow area, holds the skin taut and demonstrates tweezing of the hair in the direction of the hair growth, and then when you're done, applies antiseptic to the treated area. For your waxing, again, applying antiseptic to the eyebrow, using an absorbent material or product to dry the eyebrow area. Test the temperature of the simulated soft wax on your wrist. Apply simulated soft wax along the entire length of the eyebrow in direction of the hair growth. Smooth that strip over with simulated wax product. Hold that skin taut. Remove wax strip in the opposite direction of hair growth and apply your antiseptic and post-epilation treatment. So then make sure that things that need to go to be disinfected go in your disinfected bin, that your wax strips, your sticks, whatever else go in your trash bin, that they go to throughout the section. Don't lay your wax sticks down on the counter or anything on the counter after you've used it. After that, I'm done with the service. I can take my gloves off, throw them in the trash, and I can go ahead and clean up. So they've indicated, so keep my hand sanitizer out, throw my clips, anything that I have in the to be disinfected, my product into the to be disinfected. Alcohol still going to go back into my first aid kit. My product are going to go into my to be disinfected so that I can have them later. Any cotton that I have out will need to go in the trash. So I have 2 little pieces of cotton here. They'll go into my trash. And then I am done with my waxing service.